Han van Meegeren, the master of forgery. Unraveling the art of deception. Han van Meegeren, 1889 to 1947, was a Dutch painter and art forger who became infamous for his brilliant forgeries of Dutch Golden Age paintings, most notably those attributed to Johannes Vermeer. While history remembers him as a criminal, Van Meegeren's incredible technical skill, combined with his deep understanding of old masters' techniques, makes him a fascinating figure in the world of art. His story, filled with deception and intrigue, not only highlights his unparalleled craftsmanship, but also poses questions about the authenticity of art and the value placed on historical masterpieces. Sponsored by Polly Speaks For You. The creator of Polly Speaks For You has always been passionate about empowering individuals, especially those with disabilities or learning challenges, through text-to-speech and voice recognition technology. Polly Speaks For You isn't just a tool. It's a bridge for people to communicate and interact with the world in a meaningful way. By blending historical storytelling with cutting-edge tech, the creator showcases how powerful a voice can be, whether telling your own story or preserving history. Now, let's dive into the fascinating life and techniques of Han van Meegeren, whose work deceived the world's top art experts and earned him a place in the annals of art history. 1. The art of deception. Van Meegeren's forgeries. Van Meegeren was able to successfully pass off his works as genuine paintings by renowned Dutch artists, including Vermeer and Frans Hals. His forgeries were so convincing that they were purchased by museums and collectors as authentic works from the 17th century. What set Van Meegeren apart from other forgers was his meticulous attention to detail, his ability to replicate the style and materials of old masters, and his deep understanding of the historical context in which these works were created. Techniques of forgery. Pigments and materials. Van Meegeren used period-appropriate materials to replicate the look and feel of 17th-century paintings. He carefully mixed pigments to match those used by the old masters, ensuring that his forgeries looked authentic even under close inspection. Aged canvas. One of Van Meegeren's most clever techniques involved aging the canvas. He used a variety of methods, such as applying heat, chemicals, and natural aging agents, to give his canvases a weathered, antique look. Brushwork and style. Van Meegeren studied the brushwork and painting techniques of the old masters. He replicated their methods of layering, shading, and creating texture, often going so far as to use the same type of brushstrokes to ensure his works appeared true to their supposed origin. Tips for spotting a Van Meegeren forgery. Unusual subtlety. Although Van Meegeren's forgeries were impressive, his paintings sometimes lacked the depth and subtle nuance found in the originals. Look for overly precise details and an unnatural smoothness that might indicate a modern touch. Fakes may lack historical context. Often, the forgeries were far too well preserved, with no signs of the age or natural decay one would expect from a centuries-old painting. Some of Van Meegeren's works still show signs of the modern tools he used. 2. The psychological genius. Why Van Meegeren forged. Van Meegeren's motivations for forging art were as complex as his techniques. While he initially created forgeries to make money, his actions were also rooted in personal vendettas and disillusionment with the art world. He resented the critical establishment and his own inability to achieve recognition as a legitimate artist. His forgeries were, in part, a response to his frustrations, and he later claimed that he was seeking revenge on the art world for rejecting him. The significance of his work. A message to the elites. By creating fake Vermeers and other masterpieces, Van Meegeren struck back at the very institutions that had denied him success. He wanted to show the world how easily they were fooled and how much prestige was attached to works of art, regardless of their true origin. A symbol of the human desire for recognition, Van Meegeren's actions reflected a deeper yearning for recognition and approval. His forgeries, in a sense, were an attempt to immortalize himself in the art world, even if it meant doing so under false pretenses. 3. Materials and mediums, mimicking the masters. Van Meegeren's mastery of old masters' techniques allowed him to deceive even the most trained eyes. He was highly knowledgeable about 17th-century painting materials, including pigments, varnishes, and canvases. Van Meegeren's methods and materials. Period pigments. He used traditional oils and colors to create his paintings, carefully matching the hues found in the works of Vermeer and Hals. This attention to detail ensured that his forgeries could stand up to expert scrutiny. Varnishing. After painting, Van Meegeren would apply a varnish to his works to give them an aged appearance. This technique helped his forgeries pass as authentic as it replicated the natural aging process of oil paintings, creating historical authenticity. To further ensure his paintings would be accepted as originals, Van Meegeren often included faint inscriptions or signatures. He also studied the stylistic quirks of the painters he imitated, replicating their brushstroke patterns and compositions. 4. The downfall. From art forger to Nazi collaborator. In the years following his successful forgeries, Van Meegeren found himself at the center of a scandal that would tarnish his reputation. After the war, he was accused of collaborating with the Nazis, as one of his forgeries had been purchased by a high-ranking Nazi official, Hermann Göring. Van Meegeren was arrested and put on trial for treason. However, he was later acquitted of the collaboration charges when it was revealed that the paintings were forgeries, not genuine Vermeers. Van Meegeren's legacy. Art forgery as a form of art. Although Van Meegeren's actions were criminal, his forgeries are still regarded as extraordinary technical feats. Today, his works are studied by art historians and forgery experts as examples of masterful deception. A tragic figure. Han van Meegeren's story is a tragic one. His genius was overshadowed by his desire for fame and recognition, which led him to deceive both the art world and the public. Yet, in his own way, he achieved what he had always wanted: immortality in the annals of art history. In closing, Han van Meegeren's life and work raise important questions about the nature of art, authenticity, and value. His technical prowess and ingenuity made him a master of deception, but his legacy is clouded by his criminal activities. Nevertheless, Van Meegeren's story serves as a fascinating exploration of the limits of creativity and the lengths some will go to achieve recognition. Today, his forgeries are viewed not just as fakes, but as unique works of art in their own right, revealing the complex interplay between art, authenticity, and identity. If you've enjoyed this article, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. To learn more about South Africa's leading accessibility software, visit www.polispeaks4u.co.za and support this meaningful dyslexic initiative. Thank you for watching.